Presidency refutes claims in leaked documents on physical proposal. Says statement reports not official. House of Representatives passes Federal Capital Territory 2024 Supplementary Appropriation Bill of $98,500,000,000. NDLEA arrests 4 Hajj pilgrims with 2.2 kg cocaine in Lagos hotel. Good evening and thanks for joining us on the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24, live from Abuja. I am Vivian Ezadifi. President Bola Tinubu is calling on international development finances to see Africa as a destination for growth and prosperity. The president said this when he received a delegation of the International Finance Corporation, a member of the World Bank, at the State House. State House correspondent Musbah Abdul-Wahab has more.
President Bola Tinubu is getting more support for the priority areas he has set for his administration. The International Finance Corporation, IFC, under the World Bank Group, is the new addition to the list of potential partners. The financial institution with second largest portfolio in Africa is ready to invest more in the largest economy on the continent. And the president is setting the priorities as he urged global financiers, including the IFC, to consider more strategic investments in agriculture, infrastructure, research and development on the continent. But in this, President Tinubu said the world has to see Africa as engaging some Nigerian partners to enhance agriculture, increase food production through irrigation, upgrade transport networks, and bolster regional integration. He announced a loan of more than $23 million to an agribusiness company in the country.
We are investing largely in fertilizer and would like now to invest more in large-scale agriculture. And the president has given us his support and blessing to go in that direction.
He says the IFC is also supporting small and medium enterprises to ensure value addition in the agricultural sector.
Because when you export raw cocoa beans, it brings you $1 on your reserves. When you export a transformed product, you have $3. So this transformation will help on the macroeconomic side, will help the central bank to have more reserves, but also we create jobs.
The financial institution is, however, conversing local currency lending to companies interested to invest in Nigeria. From the State House, Musbah and Wahab, NTA News.
The presidency said that 2 fiscal policy documents in circulation being given wide coverage by the mainstream media and social media platforms were not official. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, says one of the documents, titled Inflation Reduction and Price Stability, Fiscal Policy Measure. Bayo noted the documents are all policy proposals on custom tariffs, fuel subsidy and other economic matters that are still subject to review and the highest level of government. Indeed, one has drafts clearly written on it. Therefore, he assured the public that the official position on the documents will be made available after comprehensive reviews and approvals are completed. The Vice President Kashim Shettima is in Ekiti State, where he inaugurated the Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, MSMEs, in the state. Senator Shettima, who was accompanied by the Senate leader Michael Bamidele, Minister of Solid Minerals Dele Alake, was received at the Ekiti State Government House by Ekiti State Governor Biodun Oyebanji. The Vice President, the Governor Biodun Oyebanji, and the Minister of Solid Minerals, Dele Alake, visited the Ewe of Ado Ekiti, Oba Rufus Adejobi, in his ancient palace. and deliberated on critical national issues for development of the country. The Vice President assured the federal government's commitment to impact on the states, including ensuring that the construction of road leading to the cargo airport from Ado-Ekiti, the state capital, is captured in 2024 supplementary budget. The Vice President has inaugurated the new Omisanjona Seji Ajebamidele Road constructed by the state government to serve as link road from Iruna area of the state capital to Ado-Ikere Road to provide succor to road users and boost social and economic activities of the area. The Vice President, Kashim Shettima, also inspected the Adire-Ekiti hub, where over 600 youth have commenced training for onward empowerment on the necessary skills and knowledge to become proficient in Adire craftsmanship in Ekiti State. Senator Kashim Shettima promised a 5 million naira support for the success of the initiative, which focuses on addressing unemployment challenges by offering comprehensive training programs on the traditional craft of Adire dyeing and textiles. Senate has suggested the establishment of a task force to evaluate the effectiveness and implication of negotiating with bandits. This is to enable the conduct of thorough analysis on the short-term gains and long-term consequences of such decision. It was sequel to a motion calling for the review of security approach to curb banditry in northwest Nigeria, sponsored by senators from the zone. The lawmakers urged security agencies to improve strategies to secure communities and farmlands in order to prevent food shortage in Nigeria.
At the moment, most of our farmlands in these areas are no-go areas to our farmers. Once you step out of the comfort or the confines of a village, hamlet or town, you hardly come back without being kidnapped.
Governors of the states in Northwest region affirm their commitment to supporting and acceptable and workable initiatives that promote peace, security, and development in the region, and pledge to work towards fostering a safe and secure environment for their people.
The House of Representatives has passed the Federal Capital Territory 2024 Supplementary Appropriation Bill of 98,500 million only for capital expenditure. The House and the Committee on Supply passed the money bill to provide for strategic intervention projects, which include engineering services and public buildings. Also at Thursday plenary, a bill for an act to establish the Federal College of Nursing, Midwifery and Health Sciences. The possibility of improving upon the current electoral process is that of all stakeholders and must not be left to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, alone. This was while discussing 25 years of unbroken democracy electoral process on Good Morning Nigeria. Ekemini Williams has the report.
Nigeria has been celebrating 25 years of return to democracy, but the integrity of the elections has been a source of recurring controversy, which compelled the unending efforts at reforming the electoral system. Discussing the electoral process, political commentators noted that the Electoral Act has become the most amended piece of legislation because of the drive to achieve free, fair, and inclusive elections. They said this can only be accomplished if all stakeholders in the electoral process play their part effectively.
We need to remove all the legal, legislative encumbrances on our way to deploying technology and ensuring that we can get into electronic, voting where we can do so.
The political commentators also had a number of suggestions, which included introducing electronic voting, expansion of age brackets for voting, and reorientation of party agents.
The important thing about the PVC is the built-in chips that can identify, and the biometrics captured in the PVC allows us to electronically identify those who are entitled to vote.
You don't get votes at the polling unit if you don't have party agents that are dedicated. Political parties pay party votes. Welcome back. As Muslims look out for the new moon of Dhul Hijjah, the Nigerian pilgrims in the Holy Land have continued their preparation for the Hajj rites. Correspondent Jamilu Ibrahim, who is on the entourage of National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, will now join us virtually from the Holy Land. Hello, Jamilu. And how far with the preparation for the 2024 Hajj operation?
Good evening. We arrived in Mecca, in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. As you have rightly mentioned, the Muslim Ummah had been waiting for the sighting of the moon of Zulhijjah. And just recently, the Saudi authorities have announced the sighting of the moon of the Hijjah 1445. That means it is now a week or so to the commencement of the Hajj rite proper, as the Arafah would be observed on the 15th of this month. So far, most of these pilgrims that have been edited so far are now in Mecca, sorry, because they have completed their period of stay in Medina. They are now in Mecca, and most of them have already observed their over.
Expecting the last flight from Nigeria. It seems we've lost him there. That was our correspondent from the Holy Land of Mecca. Let's turn our attention to other matters now. The Chief of the Naval Staff, Emmanuel Ogala, says the Navy is open to any partnership aimed at complementing the federal government's objective of promoting security and safety in the nation's maritime environment so as to create the enabling atmosphere for businesses to thrive. The CNS said this is imperative to actualize the lofty goal of boosting the contribution of the blue economy to Olale reports.
The Nigerian Navy, through its assets consisting of ships and vessels, has been able to instill its authority on the nation's waterways, and behind the scene is an unseen hand offering technical support, especially in silencing the noise that once deafened the Gulf of Guinea. This visit by the Chief of Naval Staff to the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, is to give kudos to that unseen hands in supporting the Navy in the area of regulations and laws which formed the basis for enforcement. The CNS said with platforms like the C4I Center, the country has maintained visibility over its waters while reducing crime, hoping that the renewal of existing Memorandum of Understanding will create avenue for strengthening the country's capacity to protect its maritime space.
Many of the vessels that have the intention to come to commit crime, they put off their AIS. We have arrested some of these vessels and handed them over to NIMASA. We will continue to do that. We are working for the benefit of our nation, Nigeria. And if we are able to do our job well, the whole country will be better for it. Incidences of crimes will reduce.
The Director General of NIMASA believes this is the way to go, especially with more nautical miles added to the nation's continental shelf.
We will sit down again to review the MOU and come up with a better SOP for us to enhance and make use of our relationship.
The two agencies agreed that since securing the maritime environment is the key to unlocking the nation's marine and blue economy, then the commitment for the future is to continue deepening partnership. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NTA News.
Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have raided a hotel in Lagos where some intending pilgrims to Saudi Arabia in the ongoing Hajj operation were lodged and caught in the act of ingesting wraps of cocaine ahead of their flight to the Holy Land on Wednesday, 5th June 2024. The four suspects allegedly prepared 200 pallets of cocaine weighing 2.20 kilograms to swallow when NDLEA officers stormed their rooms. 100 wraps of the Class A substance were recovered from each of the two rooms, bringing the total seizure to 200 wraps. Two suspects were to swallow 100 wraps each. Chairman of the agency, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, retired, said the agency will continue to track, trace, and apprehend criminal elements who may want to hide under the pilgrimage to carry out their nefarious activities capable of denting the image of the country. The need for relevant stakeholders to adopt a unified approach that will effectively yield a comprehensive solution to the menace of drug abuse in the state has been stressed. Wife of the Lagos State Governor, Claudiana Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, was speaking at a stakeholders meeting on drug abuse at the State Secretariat, Alausa, Lagos. Ese Onwamaka reports.
Over time, Lagos State, an expanding metropolitan and economic nerve center of Nigeria, has continued to record high cases of drug abuse among its youthful population. Worried by this trend, wife of the Lagos State Governor, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, who was speaking at a stakeholders meeting, noted that there is always a sign of drug abuse in almost every home, and as such, urgent steps must be taken to reverse the ugly trend and restore sanity to the society.
We don't want our greater tomorrow, our future gems, to be polluted and destroyed, even before they start. That is what we are afraid of.
On his part, State Commander, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Lagos State Command Abubakar Wale, decries the loopholes in the judicial system in apportioning sanctions to persons arrested for drug abuse-related offences, as her office is determined to employ result-oriented strategies to bring the menace to its barest minimum. In Lagos, Ese Onwamaka, NTA News.
Corps Marshal Federal Road Safety Corps Shehu Mohammed says the problems identified with National Driver's License will soon be a thing of the past. This he said when he visited some facilities of the Corps in Abuja. Oyeyemi Ajayi has details.
When the Corps Marshal Federal Road Safety Corps Shehu Mohammed pinpointed repositioning the Corps towards a better service delivery of ensuring an effective road safety management in the country, some contemplated how it can be achieved. For him, hitting the ground running requires visiting some facilities of the Corps to familiarize himself with the available. The Zone 7 Sector Command, the Kado Plant Farm, where driver's licenses are produced, and the Gwagwalada Farm, where number plates are as well produced, are some of the places he believes need more attention.
I want to assure the motoring public and the general public that we are committed to continue delivering quality service of all FRC products, and that the problem identified with National Driver License will soon be a thing of the past.
He craved for more cooperation from the populace in its quest for better road safety management in the country. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
You are watching the news at 6 on NTA News 24, a recap of our major stories. Presidency refutes claims in leaked documents on physical proposals, says statement report not official. House of Representatives passes Federal Capital Territory 2024 Supplementary Appropriation Bill of $98,500,000,000. NDLEA arrests 4 Hajj pilgrims with 2.2 kg cocaine in Lagos hotel.
This is NTA News 24.
And that concludes the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Vivian Ezadefi. Bye.